Hi, let's talk burrs. Burrs. What is a burr? A burr is our friend, our enemy. It's confusing. Is it something we avoid? Is it something that we want? Is it something that we want some of the time and not all the time? So let's talk about burrs because burr is one of the most important aspects of sharpening a knife well and one of the most misunderstood uh, aspects of sharpening knives. I want you to know that what I'm sharing is what I learned from years of participation in Wicked Edge forums, in sharpening knives, in interchanges with people, instructing them to sharpen knives, getting instructions from them to help me sharpen knives. It's not like book facts. Some of it is book facts, some of it is just observations, intuition, uh, experience. It's all put together. So take what you want, leave what you don't, share what you know. If something I say is contrary, I'd love to hear what you say because this is a very important aspect of knife sharpening. And like Mr. Stein said, it's like a college course. Well, I think it's important that we discuss these different aspects of sharpening so that we all understand what we're talking about and we're all on the same page before I just start sharpening and say, see, do that. Because I learn how to do things better when I'm told why I'm doing something. If I understand why I'm trying to do something, I can contribute my knowledge and my insight into doing that maybe better, maybe differently. If you just tell me do A, B, C, and D and don't give me any choice how to do it, then I'm going to do A, B, C, and D how you said to do it. But if I knew why we're doing A, B, C, and D, I might be able to do a better job because I have a feel for what you say that we're doing, and I may be able to do it my way and improve your way. So for me, I'm a why person. You tell me why, and I'm glad to do it. If you just tell me to do something, I spend my time trying to figure out how to do what you told me to do better. Okay, so let's talk about burrs. What's a burr? A burr, in the simplest term, is the physical manifestation of moving steel on a knife edge. When we use our stones, I always do this because we're sharpening knives on a wicked edge and we're moving stones across this knife edge. So that's why I always do this bicycle, whether it's up, whether it's down, whether it's scrubbing, whether it's round and round. Motions of the stones across the knife edge moves the steel on the knife edge and it piles up. You know, you all like watching TV. I like watching Gold Rush. They use those excavators to grate off the top of the ground. The ground looks like this, roly-poly. They grade it down till they get to the bedrock to make it flat. Well, while they're grading it, they're pushing piles of debris to the side. Well, that's what a burr is. We're pushing damaged steel up to the edge. And at the same time, we're pushing damaged steel down to the shoulder. So while we're using our stones and grading the steel, grinding the edge, making those grind marks with our different grits, we're moving steel and piling it up. That steel that's piled up is the burr. The burr is a good thing. It shows us that we're moving steel from where it was to where it needs to go. Now, Is it something that you have a choice? For me, it's not. My strokes produce a burr. They move steel, and the steel piles up across the edge, and that makes a burr. I want to produce that burr. That burr shows me that I'm pushing the steel up to the edge, and when my stone goes off the edge, that steel curls over onto the other side of the knife. So when I'm working on the right side of the knife, the burr rolls over on the left side of the knife. Then I go and I work the left side of the knife, and that burr will roll over the top of the right side of the knife. So a burr will flip-flop. The burr is formed first on one side. I like to form the burr across the entire edge, and I like to form a burr on the back side of the knife across the entire edge. If I have a burr at every point along the edge on both sides, to me that's telling me that my scratches have gone from down on the shoulder of the knife and pushed that steel clean off the edge. What I'm doing is I'm moving that old curled up, used, destroyed steel, and I'm grading it with the stone grind up off of the edge. I'm pushing it like that bulldozer up off of the edge. When it gets to the edges, then we have to remove it and flatten it out, and that's another situation. Let's talk burrs first. When you pick up your stone, you decide which grit you want to use, 100 grit, 200 grit, 400, 500, 600, 1,000, whatever it is that you start. When you take that stone and you put it against the knife edge, as you work the knife edge, you will move steel and produce a burr. For me, I want a burr that I can see is continuous from the heel of the blade all the way to the tip. That way I know that my scratch pattern on that side covered the entire edge. I do the same thing on both sides. Now brings up the first controversial, confusing subject is, do I do one side at a time and then go to the other side? Or do I do this side and do that side, go back and forth? Do I count how many strokes I'm doing on the right side and do the same amount of strokes on the left side? All these are important questions, and we're going to discuss them, and it is going to take more than this one video because I can see I'm already talking 8 minutes. So we're going to start with there. A burr is something that we want, and it is a good thing. It is the physical manifestation that shows us proof, physical proof that what we're doing is working. I'm going to come back with another disc and we're going to get into it further. Thanks.